What's up, my beautiful entrepreneurs? Are you looking for a new product to add to your product line? One that you don't see very often, but one that will already elevate the products that you already have? Well, I have the perfect body serum formula for you today for you to try out and to add onto your product line. This is a formula that's really hydrating, but also helps with particular skincare issues. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the video. All right, so first things first, we're going to get into the formula for this body serum. Now, first we're going to have distilled water, then niacinamide, then we're going to have hyaluronic acid, glycerin, pumpkin seed extract, and preservatives. Now, when it comes to each ingredient that we are going to be using, each one has a particular purpose when it comes to making a serum. Now, a body serum or any serum is going to be majority water based. So when it comes to your product, you always want to make sure that you're using distilled water. Don't ever use tap water or just like a water bottle like water. Make sure it's distilled water because of the bacteria. You're making a product that's going on your skin, that's going on your face. So you want to make sure that this isn't something that is harboring any bacteria or anything like that. It's completely filtered distilled water. And so I just buy that from the grocery store, so you can just always buy a gallon of distilled water. That's just the best bet when it comes to making these formulas. Then I'm going to have the niacinamide. Now with this is a very hydrating ingredient to add into your serum. Not only does it help to boost hydration, but also helps to calm down any redness. This is a really great ingredient, especially if you're going to be making a serum that is like for body acne, or if anyone has any redness or scarring on their body. This is really going to help calm down that redness. Now, I have dark skin, so you don't really see much redness on my skin, but I can feel that irritation that the redness would make happen, right? But you just can't see it appear on my skin. So using a serum like this has helped to calm down my acne and the chestney. I don't know if that's even what you call it, but the acne that you get on your chest as well, and also calm that down and make the redness or that irritation not feel so prevalent. So I feel like niacinamide is a really great ingredient. Also, when you're looking up niacinamide and you're looking to purchase it, it'll also come up as vitamin B2. So that's going to be the same thing. It's just in powder form, but the correct term or scientific term for it is niacinamide. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well when you're going out to search for that. Now the next ingredient is going to be hyaluronic acid. Now, I know we all see those commercials where they're breaking down hyaluronic acid. Now this is a really great ingredient and one that people are using more frequently, but I think it's really important to understand what it is. Now, hyaluronic acid is a gooey, slippery substance that our bodies actually produce, and it's really great for inside your body, but also for outside of your body on your skin. This is something that is actually in between like your joints and tissues to actually help to act as a lubricant for your joints and tissues. Now that's a fun fact that I didn't know I wanted to share. But when it comes to this product, it's really great for reducing redness as well. It helps to reduce fine lines and wrinkles, and it really helps to smooth out your skin. Now this is a really great ingredient to still even add in your regular body serum, because I know with a lot of women, we wear t-shirts that have the V neckline like I'm wearing today, and there's a lot of sun damage that can happen here. And I'm sure we all notice that when you see women of older ages that they start to gain those wrinkles in their chest area, especially if they've worn shirts with that deep V neck. So a hyaluronic serum can be something that's great used for an issue like that, and use a way to advertise for sunburns, for reducing redness, and for those fine lines and wrinkles that you may get on your chest and even sometimes on your back as well. So hyaluronic acid is a really great ingredient. Next ingredient that we're going to use is glycerin. Now glycerin is a really great ingredient when it comes to making serums or any of our body butters and lotions, because it really helps to relieve any dryness, and it helps with hydration, and it just helps to really give that nice hydrating relief and refresh to your skin's surface. So I really love glycerin, and it's a great add-on to your serums to add in that hydration that your skin is going to also need from using this product. Now the final two ingredients, so we're going to have our pumpkin seed extract, and we're also going to have a preservative. Now when it comes to the pumpkin seed extract, this is really great to reduce fine lines. It's really great for anti-aging products, or any products that is about reducing wrinkles and to reduce the appearance of wrinkles. Pumpkin seed extract is going to be a really great ingredient for that. Now the next ingredient is going to be your preservative. Now a preservative is extremely important in this formula. When it comes to a water-based formula, you have to have a preservative. You don't want any bacteria or mold to start growing into your product, especially you're selling these products, so you want to make sure that you are protecting your customer and yourself when you are making these products and you're adding in a preservative. Now for the preservative you use is up to you. Just make sure that it is a water-based preservative that you are using, because there are some preservatives that are just oil-based. So now we have to get into the step-by-step of actually making this body serum. Now it's really easy, so bear with me. Don't worry, we're going to get this, and it is going to be very simple, and you're going to love this formula. Now first you're going to start off with your distilled water. Now you want to make sure that you are not like using warm distilled water or hot distilled water. Make sure that it's just room temperature or cool distilled water, because that can also kind of like mess with the other ingredients that you're using. So we're going to start off with distilled water, and this is going to be at 80% of the overall formula. Then to add in the niacinamide. Now this is going to be at 10%. You're just going to add this into the water. So when you're adding this into the water, it's going to dissolve really quickly, and it's going to look like you didn't add anything to it, so don't be alarmed by that. It's just going to dissolve completely into the water, and that's exactly what you want to happen there. Then we're going to add in the glycerin. This is at 5%. Then we're going to add in the pumpkin seed extract at 2%. And then we're going to add in the preservatives, and we're going to add this in at 1%. Again, make sure that your distilled water is at room temperature, because you don't want that to mess with the time that you're putting in the preservative. You can just add in all of your ingredients at the same time at this stage. So don't worry about that with the preservative. Now after you have everything mixed together, so now you're going to add everything to that same container, you're just going to mix it all together. Now we're going to add in the hyaluronic acid, and this is going to be at 2%. So you're going to add it in, and you're going to start stirring it. Now hold up, do not freak out. I know you're going to start to see everything seize up together in the hyaluronic acid is going to start to seize, and it's going to all goop together, and it's not going to mix properly into your formula. That is okay. That's what's supposed to happen. Don't worry. I freaked out myself when that happened, because I thought this was not supposed to be right, and I did this 2 times because I was like, wait, why is it gooping up? Why is it not incorporating? And that is supposed to happen, so do not worry about that when you see this in the process. So basically, after you've added it, you want to mix it for a little bit, and then you're going to cover your hyaluronic acid, and I just covered it with aluminum foil, or if you already have a top for the container that you're using, just cover it up, and you can either leave it at room temperature or you can put it in the fridge to cool. I see a lot where you can add it in, you can let it sit for about 1 to 3 hours. I really suggest overnight. Now through the whole entire process, I was checking on it and mixing it, because as you come and check on it, you'll see that the hyaluronic acid is dissolving in the formula, and it's starting to mix the way it's supposed to, and then you'll really start to see that goopy, slippery texture that I was talking about before. You'll really start to see that in the overall formula as you're mixing it. But what I realized, because I waited that 1 to 3 hour mark for the hyaluronic acid to really mix with the rest of the formula, and I was thinking that maybe there could be more that can happen with the hyaluronic acid at this point, so I just let it sit overnight. And when I woke up in the morning, it was really completely dissolved. It really looked more of like that soft texture that you would be looking for. It wasn't as thick when I let it sit for a little bit longer. So with serums, especially if you're using hyaluronic acid, it's really a waiting game with this formula. You don't want to rush it. You want to let it take its time, and this is why it's really important to test these things out so you can see how it comes out or what it looks like before you go out and try and sell it right away. I do love the overall formula. What I did realize was that it was very thick. Now, it wasn't like any thicker than most serums that you may see out in the market, but I wanted it to be able to be in the pump bottle, and I wanted to be able to squeeze it out properly and for it not to be overly thick, but not too runny either. So I went ahead and I tried the formula again, but I added in just a little bit of water and took out a little bit of the hyaluronic acid, and I think this really made a big difference. So what I did was I added 80.5% of distilled water, and then I did 1.5% of the hyaluronic acid. Now, I know you're probably thinking that's really not that big of a difference. How could you really think that anything is going to happen here? But trust me, when it comes to making formulas or making really testing out formulas, you don't want to make big drastic changes to your formula. You want to make sure that you are only taking out a little bit to see how that's going to change, because if I were to take out a full 1%, then maybe it would be a little bit too liquidy if I added a little bit too much water, or it wouldn't have been the right consistency. So I figured it would be better to take away a little bit, inch by inch, to see where I would like it to be versus taking out a whole percentage and it not being what I was looking for. Already not having that much percentage room with the usage rate of this ingredient to begin with, so try and get as much out of it as you can for the formula, because it really brings a lot of benefits to your overall product. So I went ahead and did that, and the product actually loosened up very well, and it was more of a lighter texture and a lot more easier to take out of the pump bottle, so it didn't feel as thick with this formula, and I really enjoyed that. Now, when it comes to serums, I see either like a 2-ounce jar, or you're gonna see like a 4-ounce, maybe even 6-ounce jar for a serum, but a lot of times you're not gonna see any bigger than that. And when it comes to these serums, you have to realize that people are only using it on particular areas, whether it's in between their thighs, or if they're using it for their underarm, or if they're using it for, particular problem areas on their face. They're not using it for the whole entire body. So you don't have to make a huge bottle of this to begin with. So don't be afraid to make a small bottle to sell for this, because again, one, it's not going to be too much money out of your pocket to make this product, and it's also not going to be too much to add onto your shipping costs, because it's going to be a really lightweight product to begin with. And that's what I really love with the serums. You can add on a new product without it being so hefty on your pockets and for your business, and it'll really be a great way to test out a new product with your customers, and also give them another way to bundle up your products that you already have and get some added benefit to the skincare issues that they are having. Serums are a great product to add onto your product line, but there are a few other products that I think will also be great and should be added to your product line this year. Watch this video here where I discuss other products that will be great to add to your skincare line, and I'll catch you in the next one.